talking to Mike Fitzsimmons, a nurse at Albany Medical Center, about the current state of the organizing drive and the contract. So what's going on, Mike?
Well, we're out here to let our community know that negotiations really aren't going very far. So we're looking to let our community know that this is an important place. We take care of the sickest people in the area. We have 10,000 employees here, 2,000 nurses. This is one of the biggest companies in the area. And the hospital's telling us after, well, when we got done with the COVID surge, they put us on a pay freeze. That's how they're treating us. Decreasing our benefits over the years, decreasing things like our pension plan and our insurance plan. We've had enough. It's time for us to make a stand. We need to have a decent living standard for our nurses, and we have to have a decent place, a safe place to work.
You took a strike vote, correct?
What's that?
You took a strike vote.
We collected signatures from our nurses, and a big majority told us that they're willing to strike if that's what it's going to take.
What's your opinion on that? Is it going to take that to get their attention?
Well, now it's Albany Med. Are they willing to sit down and talk about talk and listen to us? That's all we're asking. We want to be able to have a labor management committee so that we can discuss issues like safe staffing and the correct use of PPEs when we have crises like COVID. We think it's a reasonable demand to talk to them about having a better wage scale, about retaining our nurses. We recruit nurses, but the average lifespan of a nurse here is like 3 to 5 years. That's awful for our top-notch community hospital that takes care of our sickest people.
What do you think? What about the administration and their salaries? What is the situation with that?
Well, that's the thing. They're running typically as like a Wall Street corporation. That's what's going on in the country. We have, they're telling us we have to have a pay freeze. They pinched us for 20 years on wages and benefits. Then they turn around and the top administrators are all multimillionaires. They're the ones making all the decisions. And at the same time, Albany Med has about a $170 million cushion in the banks. That's what they've done with their profits. They're holding their profits. They're very comfortable with giving themselves, the administrators, plenty of money, big pension plans. And for us, they're telling us there's no money. It's ridiculous. It's the same way that's going on in all the corporations in this country. You know, the top layers, they're getting what they say they deserve, of course, and for us, it's nothing.
Thank you, Mike.
And the thing that gets me mad, and our community has to know, about 2/3 to 70% of the money that this corporation lives on comes from Medicare, Medicaid, government reimbursements. These hospitals live on government money, and so our people who live in Albany, the whole county, they have a big stake in what goes on here.
Thank you, Mike. You're a member of the negotiating committee, correct?
Yes, I've been on the negotiating committee for 2 years, and I was on the organizing committee for getting the vote. Yeah.
Well, thank you for talking to us.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Yep. Tom, you lost it. Yep. Yeah. Right. Everybody came up, walked with us in the middle of winter. Big release they can do
on the other side now. by myself, and I look out across the water, and I think of all the things that you're doing in my head, and I paint a picture. But since you come home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over, stop making out of me? Why don't you come on over, Valley? Nice love. Come on over, nice love. Nice love. Nice love. Nice love. Why don't you come on over? Nice
Thank you, everyone, and I want to start by thanking all of the nurses and healthcare workers who have just done so much and continue to do so much. And I want you to know that there are those of us who are out here and we look at what you do and we so deeply appreciate it and we don't take it for granted. And we know it's hard on you and it's hard on your families. And so on top of all of that, you should not have to worry about a contract. You should not have to worry about whether or not you are going to be treated fairly as we come through this crisis. And we need to know that you're going to be taken care of, that your families are going to be taken care of, that the rules are fair, and that you are advocating for rules that keep us safe, that keep your patients safe, and that keep our community safe. You are part of our community. You are part of Albany whether you live here or not. You are here helping people from throughout the region. And I want you to know from the bottom of my heart that we stand with you, that there is not a day that I drive by this hospital or that I see your signs out there, and they're all over the capital region, that I don't say, this must be done. This must be done. We stand with you. You need a contract, and we will continue to fight for you. Go nurses!
Person in between, so I like to keep things rolling. So we're going to call up Laura Franz from the New York State Teachers. There she is.
Here I am. Thank you, Corey. So, happy Labor Day, sisters and brothers. I'm Laura Franz, member of the NYSNA Board of Directors and the proud president of the Albany Public School Teachers Association. You know, when I was a kid, Labor Day simply meant the last family get-together of summer. When I started my teaching career, it meant one last long weekend before the school bell rang. But as someone who's been in the labor movement for over 20 years now, I have truly learned the historic importance of this day, because this day was born out of struggle. Founded by such men as AFL's own Peter McGuire, we reflect today on such historical union figures as Samuel Gompers, Kate Mullaney, Mother Jones, Al Shanker. We stand here today truly on the shoulders of giants, men and women who talk the talk and walk the walk. But do you know who these folks were before they were historical giants? Workers. Workers just like you and me. Workers who imagined and fought for a better life for themselves, their children, and the people who labored tirelessly next to them day after day. Their struggles are our struggles as we stand in solidarity to forge a better world for us, the workers. I know that today hardly feels like a celebration, The world is turned upside down. A global pandemic has thrown us in a health and fiscal crisis that few of us have seen in our lifetime. Racial inequity and injustice has once again torn at the fabric of our nation, exposing the vast divide between the haves and have-nots. Polarizing politics from those who lead looks to pit the working people against each other. But what's past is prologue. The struggles of labor history define our fight today. The fight for nurses at AMC and Ellis hospitals for a fair contract. Our frontline heroes who answered the call without hesitation when we needed you. Thank you. Truckers and grocery workers who kept supply chains moving and open throughout this country so we could all stay afloat while doing so with barely a livable wage to keep their own families afloat. And yes, even teachers who reinvented their profession overnight to do the best job they could for their students with few resources, who now face massive layoffs in our poorest communities. Over 450 teachers and paraprofessionals in Albany and Schenectady alone desperately needed faculty and staff who will not be there to help our children learn and grow through the most difficult times. And all because of unjust funding formulas from our capital and a lack of decisive action from Mitch McConnell and other electeds at both state and federal levels. We, the workers, are in the thick of it now. And as I stand here before you, I am humbled and grateful to stand shoulder to shoulder with you, my union family. Know that it is not all lost. We must keep hope. History gets a chance to repeat itself, and will make sure it does in the best of ways. Because when the workers unite and cry out in a collective voice, we will not be ignored. We gather together to celebrate and demonstrate the solidarity of the American working people. Because the workers united will never be defeated. The workers united will never be defeated. Thank you, brothers and sisters.
Your president, your fearless leader, Judy Sheridan Gonzalez.
I'm standing here in your shadow because 2 years to me is too long. 2 years is too long. 2 years? Too long. 2 years? Too long. 2 years? Too long. Nurses are known to have patience. Aren't we patient people? We take care of patients and we have patience, but we don't have any more patience because what is going on here is all about power. This is the corporate, union-busting capital of the state of New York, and we're going to stop it, aren't we? Because what makes a hospital? Is it a building? No. Is it a CEO? No. Is it a board of trustees? No. What makes a hospital? No. What makes a hospital? No. And without nurses, is there a hospital? No. Because this is a union-busting establishment, and we know what's disgusting? What's disgusting? What's disgusting? I am so tired of being called a hero and being treated like a zero. Because we are heroes. We are not? We are? We're not? And when you've had enough, and you haven't gotten what you need, you have to do what you have to do because this is about power. And we have a saying, I'm not sure if you use it here. When we say, what do we want? You know what to say. What do we want? What do we want? And if we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, 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 and we will shut it down with you because you deserve way more than what you're getting right now, and we deserve way more, and there are 42,000 nurses in the state of New York, and an AFL-CIO, and other unions, and community groups, and people in the legislature that are standing with us, and it's time to move, because Albany Man is not listening.